Does that mean that you and me... Is this gonna happen?
All right, folks, time for some real talk. Last week, my girlfriend broke up with me. Yes, it is true. And truthfully, the relationship only lasted a couple of months. But it was fun. She was a really nice, funny girl who simply said, "We just don't fit." I was pretty bummed for a few hours and figured the best thing to do was to get my mind off of it. Of course, what's the first thing I do? I open up Netflix. I'm just finishing Better Call Saul, and as I was watching, I started thinking to myself, what would Kim Wexler tell me to do? What sort of dating advice would she tell me how to deal with this breakup? If you're not familiar, Kim Wexler is a character from the AMC television series Better Call Saul. She's played by Rhea Seehorn, a lawyer who works with the series protagonist Jimmy McGill, also later known as Saul Goodman, and becomes romantically involved with him. Throughout the series, Kim is shown to be a hardworking, intelligent, and ethical individual with a passion for the law. She is also shown to have a strong sense of morality and is often at odds with Jimmy's more unscrupulous actions. Despite this, she is always shown to have a deep personal loyalty to Jimmy, and the two have a complex and dynamic relationship throughout the show. Kim's backstory is not fully explored in the series, but it's hinted that she comes from a working class background and that she has a strained relationship with her family. Based on the show, I think the first piece of advice she would give to me is this: never give up. During the show, Kim takes on a pro bono case for an elderly woman who's being evicted from her home by a ruthless nursing home owner. Despite facing numerous obstacles, such as the nursing home owner's well-connected lawyers, Kim refuses to give up and uses her legal expertise and creativity to find a way to win the case. She ultimately succeeds in getting the eviction overturned, and the woman is able to stay in her home. So maybe Kim would tell me that I should do everything I can to get my girlfriend back and to never take no for an answer. But on the other hand, we do see Kim give up when she knows the fight is useless. When she works with Jimmy in the same office, she admits to him that her way and his way are different, with Jimmy's way often not being legal, and the best way to work together is to keep things separate. Here's the second piece of advice that I think Kim might give me. Always think rationally. Emotions aside, boy. Kim Wexler is a really smart and logical person. She's used to thinking through problems and finding solutions. She's also really good at seeing things from different angles and figuring out what's fair and right. She's not easily swayed by emotions, and she likes to stay level-headed. This makes her rational. Aside from her profession, she also has a strong moral compass, and she always wants to do what's right. She's not someone who takes shortcuts or cheats to get ahead. All these characteristics make her someone who is able to approach problems in a calm and logical way, which is why she's always so rational. You can also see that Kim has been through a lot of challenges in her personal and professional life, and she's learned that being impulsive and emotional isn't the best way to deal with them, so she's become rational over time. Another great reminder, Jimmy is facing a malpractice lawsuit, and he's not willing to take a plea deal that his lawyer, Rich Schweikart, is offering him. Schweikart is trying to settle the case out of court for a relatively small amount of money, but Jimmy is not willing to accept this and wants to go to trial. Kim, who is Jimmy's partner and close friend, tries to convince him to take the deal. During the episode, Kim explains to Jimmy the rationality behind the deal. She points out that the case against him is strong and he could face a much larger judgment if this goes to trial. And also, the case could ruin his reputation and his career. She also mentions that a trial would be a long and expensive process, and the plea deal would be the best outcome for him. Despite Jimmy's initial reluctance, he ultimately agrees to take the deal after Kim's rational argument. This shows how Kim's rational thinking and her ability to see things from a logical perspective help her to make decisions that are in Jimmy's best interest. The episode also shows how Kim's rational thinking can be at odds with Jimmy's impulsive and emotional approach, and how their friendship and partnership can be tested by these differences. But in this situation, Kim's rational thinking ultimately prevails, and her advice helps Jimmy avoid a potentially disastrous outcome. And the final piece of advice I think she might give me is this: loyalty first. Kim is super loyal to Saul, like seriously loyal. They have a romantic relationship and a professional partnership, and she's always there for him, no matter what. She's one of the few people that Saul truly trusts and cares about. Even though they don't always see eye to eye, they've had their fair share of disagreements. Yet she's still always got his back. That being said, her loyalty to Saul isn't always easy. He's done some shady stuff and put her in some tough spots, and it's not always clear if she should stand by him or not. But at the end of the day, she's always there for him, even when it's not the easiest thing to do. When Jimmy was facing a difficult situation with the bar association and he was in a little bit of a funk and he wasn't really sure how to handle it, Kim was there for him. She's always willing to listen and offer advice, even when Jimmy doesn't want to hear it. She knows that he's in a tough spot and she's not afraid to be there for him, emotionally and legally. How this relates to my girlfriend who broke up to me? Well, I'm not totally sure. But what I do know is that if I had Kim Wexler by my side right now, I know she would be there to help. Overall, I think Kim would be supportive and analyze the situation from all perspectives, not just my side, and be able to give me some actual quality advice. I know that if we were to make this video about Saul's advice to me, he would probably suggest to steal her car and frame her or murder her or something. And if I were to ask Walter White, he would most likely inquire if we need some help assassinating her or if I'm looking for something to quote unquote escape with. So overall, I'm glad when thinking about this video, I went with Kim's advice. And that is the end of the video. Let us know if you think my ex should get back with me, and give this video a like if you think that we're destined to be together. Don't forget to subscribe, and please comment below if you know any girls interested in a floating narrator voice.